Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. Over the last several episodes, I have gathered all of the rangers from all over Eriador to come to Rivendell. That way they can form the Great Company and head south to meet up with Aragorn. Let's go ahead and speak with Elrond and tell him that I've accomplished that task. It's always nice returning to the last homely house. So this is the quest I picked up a few episodes ago, the mysterious relic. I'm going to leave it for now.
The Grey Company assembles. What dangers will they face on the road south?
You have done quite well, Kippen. The Grey Company assembles with as much haste as can be taken, and they will ride to Aragorn in the wide southern lands. Whatever dangers have befallen him, we must believe that the Dunedain will reach him in time. If you desire to aid the Grey Company and Aragorn further, you may ride with them. I will tell you when all is made ready. Until that day, Kippen, go in peace and keep still the safety of these lands. The way south will be dangerous.
The Dunedain have been called to fulfill their purpose in this age, to ride to the aid of their chief Aragorn, son of Arathorn. The road of the Grey Company will be fraught with peril, but they must not fail.
Okay. So we are ready to start Book 2 of Volume 3.
Will you lend me your aid once more?
By your efforts, the summons was brought throughout Eriador, Kippen, and now the Dunedain have responded. Many of their numbers have come to Imladris, and they prepare to depart for the southern lands, that they may come to Aragorn in his time of need. You will ride with them, if you see fit to do so, but I have been made aware that my daughter desires to speak with you. She is at Imdolin, on the slope north of Imladris, overlooking the road that climbs up into the Misty Mountains. So you may remember a few episodes ago when we started this epic volume that Arwen met me right outside the library here, and she told me that she had something for me to take to Aragorn when it was time to depart, and maybe now is the time. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Just some legendary item stuff. I'll try to ride north out of here. Make sure I'm going the right direction. I guess I could just go north here. Then I think this way. Nope. Wrong way. Glad I checked. So I think about halfway through Book 2 is when I'll finally get to Enedwith, and then we can officially begin Season 15, and that's all going to be very exciting, of course. Did I take another wrong turn? No. Looks like I'm headed the right way. I don't often come this way in Rivendell through this waterfall. Don't think I can take a shortcut through there. I'll just have to follow the road. I've met Arwen before up here, so I expect to know where she is. There's like a little gazebo thing out here. Let me make sure. Which way do I want to go? I think I want to go up this way, actually. Got that that dude, and then Arwen all the way up here. He's got the best view of Rivendell. Look at this. Pretty nice. Good view. I like the mountains and the hills in the back with all the trees. Alright, anyways.
My own undertaking has come to an end, and its fruit waits now for a bearer.
You have returned from your errand, Kippen, and have come to speak with me as I asked. My delight cannot be hidden, friend Hobbit, for my undertaking has also come to an end, and its fruit waits now for a bearer. Arwen solemnly hands you a tall staff, wrapped closely with a black cloth bound with thongs. I have made this gift for Aragorn. The days are short, and it may be that our hopes will soon be ended. This standard I have made for him will fly aloft at a time of his choosing, and he will know for what he fights. May it bring courage to my friend Elfstone and to those with whom he stands. Bring this gift and my words to Halbarad by the stables in Imladris, for he has consented to bear them both on the journey south. So now to the stables. It may almost be faster to just port back to the other port location in Rivendell, but whatever, too late for that. I'm already headed down the slope. I had fun doing the skirmish in the last episode. Some on-level content with up-to-date gear. I feel like I breezed through it almost. I think skirmishes are a great way to actually practice your class. So I think once I'm done with the meat of the playthrough and I'm looking towards getting into endgame content and I really need to perfect my character, I'm probably just going to do a ton of skirmishes to practice. Wardens, I will have to say, is probably one of the most challenging classes to play in group. Just because things change so rapidly in a group fight that you always have to think very quickly, and with Wardens that can be a little bit difficult because you have to manipulate your gambits and it takes time to build gambits. But anyways.
I will carry this burden on our journey.
You bring both a gift and a message for my chief from Lady Arwen, I see. Halbarad listens as you recount Arwen's words and gravely accepts the standard you carry. I will carry this burden on our journey, and will come to Aragorn, though all his perils for our road lie in between. When will the standard be unfurled, I wonder, and against what sky will it be raised aloft?
All is nearly ready.
All is nearly ready, Kippen. While I finish the final preparations for our departure, I ask that you speak with some of those who will accompany us south. Ensure that they are prepared for the road and rested enough for the first leg of the journey. I saw Golodir just to the northeast some minutes ago speaking with Elrohir. Vadarnir was just to the east of the two of them beneath the footbridge. Lothrandir is just across the way, speaking with his horse Mithul. He knows a great deal about the lands through which we must pass. Ask him if he has any further information about the road which may help us move with haste. Once you have spoken with those four, find Candith by the stable and gates and speak with him about what lies ahead. Alright, so lots of people to speak with.
My horse Legimbod is rested and ready for the next leg of the journey.
He is ready to ride out of Angmar, and he is ready to undertake the next leg of the journey. His saddlebags are as light as I could make them, while still keeping the supplies we will need. Golodir takes his small pendant from one of his pockets and idly passes it from one hand to the other as he looks about the yard. This refuge has not changed in the many years since I last came here, but surely I myself must be unrecognizable. So much has happened and so little of it good. But the ride here was a marvel, and I could feel the weight of the past falling from my shoulders with the feel of the breeze upon my face. Legimbod delighted in speed, and I delighted with him. The southwest journey will do both of us some good. I am ready to be off again.
My father had some curious words for me.
On this eve of our departure for the southern lands, Kippen, Elrohir gazes down the hill, deep in thought. He said that the time is approaching when we can no longer hold back, when we must do more than defend against the actions of the enemy. He said that the time was coming when we would need to wager everything on a final throw, and by doing so, we will have done all that we can. Better a death in the far-off lands in the service of a chance, however small, than death at home and a certainty. We may not return from this journey, Kippen. My brother and I are at peace with that. I hope that you and the Dunedain are as well, for I would counsel any who are not to stay behind.
I will do my duty with no complaint, and Glorrengur will do the same.
Glorrengur did not break a sweat in the short ride from Thorinhand to Rivendell. He was ready to begin even yesterday. I could say the same for myself. I returned from Thorinhand to say goodbye to Elwillith, but I could not find her anywhere at the camp. I had meant to return this hairpin she had given me, but perhaps she feared the farewells. I suppose I did as well. We will soon set forth. I do not know what the future will bring, but I will do my duty with no complaint, and Glorrengur will do the same. And I think Lothrandir's over by the stables as well.
Mithul is ready for the next leg of the journey.
Kippen, indeed. His kind may be more prepared for what awaits us than the others of this company. After all, Mithul's eyes will be to the road underfoot, watching for loose stones and wind-blown branches. The eyes of the Dunedain must be on the horizon, keeping watch for foes that may seek to slow our errand. I have spoken with Halbarad and the sons of Elrond about the road we will take, south through the Trollshaws and into Eregion, there to rest at Ekhad Eregion before passing south into the Enedwith. A number of Dunlending tribes called the area home when I last journeyed those lands. Some were friendly to outsiders, but most were not. The Dragluth, the Hebogluth, they are those that you would be wise to not cross, and I will do my best to ensure that the Grey Company does not entangle with them. Alright, and then Kendith, I believe, is outside the gate. Just over here.
Everyone is nearly ready to ride.
The Dunedain, the sons of Elrond, and Kippen, loyal hobbits. Are you familiar with our history, Kippen? As you are joining us on this journey, surely to go down into the annals of the Dunedain, I would have you hear some of it, if you have not already. We have some moments. Let me tell you some of our history, that you may understand the weight of which we are about to do.
I have been pleased to record much of the history of the Dunedain.
So, what did I just get? I completed a deed known to the Grey Company. Okay, so I'm starting to get some reputation with them. Friend of the Grey Company, sweet. And I got a title as well, known to the Grey Company. Okay, lots of goodies. The early years of the Third Age saw deaths of Isildur and his eldest sons, but his line was not ended, for his youngest son was kept safely here in Rivendell. He was raised far from the danger that came to rule the North Kingdom. His descendants would not know peace, for the Nazgûl were to reappear, and their chief would wage war upon men in the West. In the year 1974 of the Third Age, the armies of the Witch King seized Fornost. The North Kingdom was no more, and its ruler, Averdu, fled northward to Forkill, but there he was lost, along with the heirlooms of his house. You may remember him. He was one of the ghosts that we encountered in Forkill, near the very north of the map, near some of the sunken boats. Anyways, some of the Dunedain journeyed into the icy waste to recover them. Do you wish to hear their quest? Absolutely. Sounds pretty fun. So this is going to be a session play quest. Alright, let's go ahead.
In the year 1975 of the Third Age, a party of Dunedain, led by the brothers Lyganed and Hyador, traveled north into Forachel to reclaim the relics left behind in the flight from the wreck of Fornost.
We have come this far without incident, Langnan, but the road north is certain to become more dangerous. Little is known of the snowmen of Forachel, but if they are opposed to the Witch King, we will surely find them to be allies. Still, the ship bearing Averdu should have returned by now, and the absence fills me with worry. We must press onwards no matter what we find. The sooner we learn what has befallen King Averdu, the sooner we may leave this cold land. There are worms on the rise ahead. Langned, use your skills at remaining unseen and clear a path for us, that we may bring this wagon up the road safely. The trade goods we bring may loosen the tongues of the snowmen as to the fate of our king. There are worms ahead, Langland. Clear the path from them so that we may pass. Alright, I don't know what these skills are. I'm basically just gonna spam some buttons. I'll be happy with that.
Lyganed's ability to remain unseen was unrivaled in the north.
Wonder if they're asking me to go into stealth mode or something. Let me see. Alright, let's do that. Oh, I shot him. I wanted to stab him in the back like a burglar, but obviously that was not meant to be. What is this? This popped up only when I was in stealth. The shot can only be used against those that bear the Dunedain mark. Okay. Ah, that was a lot of damage. 3,000. Okay, good.
Lyganed worked quickly, and soon half of the worms were defeated. Only 3 remained.
I like the narration for this. It's making my job easier. I don't have to do as much commentary. This guy's doing a better job than I do. That worm is like standing still over there. I think it's stunned. No, it's just burning.
Lyganed cleared the path of the winter worms and returned to Hayardor.
Excellent. This kind of reminds me of that game Bastion. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it's a very, very interesting game. Very chaotic. I think I would really like to do that for my channel one day, but it's an interesting game because there's a narrator that narrates all the actions that you take in the game. I think that's probably part of the reluctance as to why I've never recorded it, because there'd be very, very little room for any commentary at all in that game. Very good, Langned. Now that the worms are cleared from the past, we can resume our journey northward into Forkel to learn what we may learn.
The small party continued north, coming at last to the shores of the Ice Bay.
We have come to the end of our road, Langnan. Look there, the ship that was to carry King Averdu back home lies in ruin. Wish now as you never have before. Wish that he was not aboard the vessel when it broke apart. We cannot tarry here, though dread lies heavily upon my heart. Hurry, Langnan. Hurry, Langnan, this way. There are people ahead, but no sign of our king.
As they raced along the shore, they knew what awaited them.
Oi there, what can you tell us of
Hasika,
that ship?
The chieftain of that people, simply shook his head.
You are the people of the Tall King.
It was not a question. The Dunedain had been expected.
If you speak of King Averdu, know that he is our liege. What has become of him? The Tall King sheltered with us for a time until the great sea monster came. We warned him not to climb atop it. Our shamans smelled danger on the air. He did not listen. How could this happen? The power of the Witch King is very strong in winter. His ice broke the sea monster's back. Obviously by sea monster they mean the ship. Who now will rule your people? Did the Tall King have no sons?
Lyganed explained then to Hasika that Arvedui had a son. The line would continue.
I'm glad the Tall King had a son to continue his rule. Long may his heirs rule the faraway peoples. He spoke of great treasures and valuable things. He said they were carried upon the sea monster's back, and that they could be used against the Witch King for the betterment of both our peoples. But now all are lost. Nothing comes back out of the frozen water. Only the treasure he gave to me remains. Wait, what treasure is this of which you speak? Before he left us, at his peril, the tall king gave me a ring. He said it had no power, but his people would give much to have it back. Lyganid, I need a word with you. I want to say this is the Ring of Barahir. Yes, I was right. It must be the Ring of Barahir. It possesses no power save its value as an heirloom of the House of Isildur, but its value in ancientry cannot be doubted. Did King Averdu have some sense of his fate that awaited him? Surely not, but it is curious that the ring has escaped where he was unable. We have brought a great store of provision with us. We will barter for the return of the ring, and it will go south with us, though its master cannot. We must be content with that. So the Ring of Barahir, of course, is the ring from the line of Isildur that designates the heir to the throne of Gondor, and Aragorn actually has a hold of it during the events of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Sorry, my reading was a little off there for a second. Some of the words were funky.
It was in this way that the Ring of Barahir was saved. For more than 900 years, the descendants of Arvedui ruled as chieftains of the Dunedain.
Ah, the Entmoors, huh? Interesting. You guys have not been here yet, huh? But I guess the map doesn't show me. We're almost there, Korgur. For good or ill, I fear that we will not find Eredor or chieftain still alive, but we cannot call off the pursuit until we know for certain. The hill trolls of the Entmoors make their homes here at the tall troll height, and the tracks lead into the cliff just ahead. I will climb the rise and scout the area from above. There are goblins in these parts as well. I leave their fates up to you, but know that the trolls must be our main concern. Good fortune, Korgur. May we not be too late for our chief.
In the year 2930 of the Third Age, Arador, the chieftain of the Dunedain, was taken captive by hill trolls.
Alright, so there's a lot of goblins here.
And Glengon, two of his closest allies, journeyed far into the Edinmoors to rescue him.
I could stealth by all the trolls, or I could fight them. I don't know. I kind of want to fight them. It would be nice if I had some AoE attacks. Doesn't look like it though. Yeah, I'll probably just sneak past these guys. It's gonna take forever to kill all these goblins. Oh, except I got a wound on me, so that rips me out of stealth. I feel like I'm back on my burglar. So there are 3 of them. What happened? Did I shoot him? I didn't mean to shoot him. I think I accidentally double-clicked him. Let me burn him down a little bit. I guess let me put a Mark of the Dunedain on him. Well, I can, I guess. Whatever, I'll just burn him down real quick. Let me put a bleed on this guy, or a burn, I guess. That way I can have them both burning some health. almost done with these guys. Although I'm out of power now, so I'm just gonna have to auto attack this guy.
The hill trolls were defeated, but it was too late. The chieftain of the Dunedain was dead.
Quite sad. Oh no, Eredor! Eredor! Alas, we were too late. Eredor has been slain. Curse these vile trolls. Glangon wipes away a tear and then composes himself as best he may. His son Arathorn is chieftain of the Dunedain now, though he won it not, and him newly married as well. There is nothing for it, Korgur. We must return with the sad news. I pity Arathorn for the responsibility that now falls to him, but we must console ourselves with the knowledge that the line of Isildur will continue. What a sorrow if it were to end in this world. May Arathorn reach a different fate than his father. Let none come to this troll height without remembering the fate of the chieftain of the Dunedain. From this point forward, this height will be known as Eredor's End, and will be a warning to all. So this is excellent. This quest is tracing the lineage of Isildur all the way down to Aragorn.
The Rangers fervently hoped that Arador's son, Arathorn, would rule long as their chief, but it was not to be. 1 year after the birth of his son Aragorn, Arathorn was slain by orcs, and his wife fled to Rivendell.
Alright. And now we meet Aragorn, of course. We have been friends for many years, Tugon, and we have explored the wild lands of Eriador together. Your friendship means a great deal to me, but I have said nothing for which you should be angry with me. I have told you before that I plan to adventure in the Southlands, then to return when I have done deeds worthy of my father and grandfather. You cannot come with me, my friend. If I am to lead the Dunedain, needs I perform feats worthy of that obligation. It is something I must do alone, Tugon.
In the year 2956 of the Third Age, Aragorn was about to make an important acquaintance.
I wish to see the great kingdoms of the south, Tugon. Who's that on the road ahead? Few travelers. Take this way. Excuse me. You're a long way from home, old man. What brings you to this road?
The old man smiled with amusement.
What you say is true. It might also be said of you, Aragorn, son of Arathorn. How do you know my name? No, hold, Tugon. I do not believe this man is our enemy. I know a great deal about you. I know that you were fostered by Elrond of Rivendell after the death of your father. I know that he has told you something of your noble lineage. I know he too has given you the heirlooms of your house, the shards of Narsil and the ring of Barahir. But how do you know these things, old man? I know because it is my business to know. I am Gandalf.
Yes, it was Gandalf, and if Aragorn in his youth spoke roughly, the wizard surely forgave him.
There are great things in store for Aragorn, your chieftain, Tugon, but he must arrive to them at his own time. It is the solemn duty of all Dunedain to protect him, for he is descended from Isildur, in line unbroken, and one day he must rule in Gondor. Gandalf smiles with amusement, peering at you from underneath his eyebrows. But these are mighty words, and the time is still far off. We all have work to do before the day comes, not just Aragorn, and not just in our small way the wizards, but you as well, Tugon. You will not travel with Aragorn on this journey into kingdoms of the south, for he has made up his mind, but you will still have your role to play. In friendship, you will carry it out and have victory. I am certain, for that is a weapon no servant of the enemy fully understands. Elrond has spoken to me of Gandalf the Grey, and I am ashamed I did not recognize him at first, Tugon. Still, he has warmth, though perhaps he tries to hide it. There were many things I wanted to ask him should we ever meet, but now I cannot think of any. What a chance meeting. Let us continue on to Lothlorien, and perhaps I will remember the questions I wish to ask. Alright, we're back.
All of the Dunedain have played their parts. So it will be with us.
And so it was that Aragorn, heir of Isildur, through unbroken line, down the long years, began his friendship with Gandalf the Grey Pilgrim. He will be known by the sword that he bears, Andúril, Flame of the West, and by the ring of Barahir, once lost, but since regained. It is the task of the Dunedain, and indeed of all friends of Aragorn, to ensure he safely comes into his birthright. We will not question if this is the time for his ascension to kingship. It must be so. Ride with us, Kippen, for we ride into history. Langanid and Herdor, Kurgur and Glangon, all are remembered for parts they played in the great drama of the age. So it will be with us.
Speak with Halbarad to see if he has any advice before we depart.
Some of the Dunedain have already begun to ride, Kippen. Speak with Halbarad at the stables to see if he has any advice before the rest depart. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, quite a fun one. I like the history, again tracing back the lineage of Isildur all the way down through the ages of Middle-earth. Very fun. In the next episode I will continue the adventure and speak with Halbarad, so thanks for watching and see you next time.